Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Live Ones. It is Tuesday, November 9th, 2021. College hoop season begins tonight. So many storylines, so much intrigue. 352 Division I teams. The big game to kick things off at 9:30 tonight, Duke versus Kentucky. You want to bet? Go right ahead. I'm not touching anything until next week at the earliest. Most amusing take I've seen among gamblers today, Gonzaga is a 40-point favorite in their opener against Dixie State. And in a prime example of everyone trying to just outsmart themselves, there's apparently a lot of money on Dixie State plus the points. Hey, Mark Few is not going to be on the court tonight. He was suspended for his DUI a couple of months ago. Just don't. Okay, don't be an idiot and touch that game. Yes, I know you'll feel like the smartest person in the room if it hits, but come on. There's a lot more action tonight if you need to have a play on something. Monday Night Football last night was a mess. An absolute officiating disaster, and it all went in favor of the Steelers every single last ticky-tack call. Whether it was a blatant no call on roughing the passer penalty for Justin Fields that was called for much less on Ben Roethlisberger, or that low block call on James Daniels, who hit nothing but air, like never touched a single human being on that call, or a taunting call on Cassius Marsh, who got hip-checked by the referee right before he threw the flag, and for a minute we thought it was the making contact with the referee that caused the foul. I wanted to break things because it was just so blatant. Anyway, we lost that bet. The Hornets let Anthony Davis and the Lakers come back and beat them in overtime. We lost that bet. We were 1-2 yesterday, but it's only Monday. Lots of week left to go for sure. We've got MACtion tonight. We've got NBA and NHL. Let's get right to it with the MACtion game tonight. One of them, Ohio and Eastern Michigan. Ohio just really never recovered from the sudden retirement of Frank Solich as their coach. They started off the year 2-7, their only wins coming against lowly Akron and a surpriser of a shootout against Miami of Ohio last week. The Bobcats showed what they could accomplish when they were up against a weak defense last week, as they were able to crank out almost 300 yards of offense and 28 points in just the first three quarters. They also, however, showed how dismal their secondary is, getting torched for almost 500 yards through the air. That's video game numbers right there. But as bad as that was, Eastern Michigan is coming off a track meet victory against Toledo last week, where their defense got obliterated for 672 yards, including 211 on the ground. That's somehow even worse. Ohio is a run-first team, has been for a long time. Eastern Michigan's run defense is 105th in the country. Eastern Michigan's offense is much more balanced than Ohio's, but they get the overwhelming majority of their yardage through the deep ball. I really like how these two offenses profile against one another's defense. I think we see a ton of points put up on the board tonight. Give me the over 61 for the game total tonight on that game. So taking a look at the NHL, it's a big slate of games tonight. We got 10 games, and I've got plays on 3 of them. And the first one is the Bruins and the Senators. Ottawa enters tonight's game against Boston in Boston, riding a season-long 4-game losing streak, and they've dropped 7 out of their last 8 games. Ottawa is also contending with a massive COVID outbreak that caused the team to cancel practice Monday. Since Friday, the Senators placed 5 players, including Dylan Gambrell, into COVID protocol. The Bruins love to play games tight, love to play that lockdown defense. They're third best in the league in fewest shots allowed so far this season. I think they keep the Senators' total nice and low tonight, especially with all the players that the Senators are missing. Ottawa may have one of the worst defenses in the league, but the Bruins just aren't built to blow other teams out. If they get a 3-0 or 3-1 lead late, they're going to sit on it rather than try to run up the score. So give me the under 6 goals tonight for Bruins Senators. So going out to Detroit, and we are taking a look at the Oilers and the Red Wings. The Oilers have stormed through their first 10 games. They've gone 9-1-0 behind the awe-inspiring play of maybe the best young talent in hockey today in Connor McDavid. If you haven't seen that video of him scoring a 1-on-4 goal against the Rangers on Friday, not only was it 1-against-4, he made it look effortless doing it. Do yourself a favor and watch that video. I can't do it justice describing it. I can't wait for an American team to come pick this up and really unleash its true potential. It's just a little dig at Canada because we unapologetically steal all their best hockey players, and all those hockey players unapologetically come down here to work in America. They're also going to be all well rested, not having played for 3 days before the start of this road trip. The Red Wings have won 2 in a row and are threatening to jump into second place in the Atlantic. Team captain Dylan Larkin returned to action after a 3-game absence against the Golden Knights. He didn't point, but it did look like just having him out there helped everyone on the ice with him. But Detroit's offense hasn't been the problem with this team so far this year. It's been their hapless defense, close to dead last in the league in goals allowed, shots allowed, and penalties killed. Oilers have the absolute best offense in hockey. They're incredible. They're just incredible on offense. And they should run wild on these guys tonight. Give me the Oilers team total over 3.5 goals. So then out to the West Coast and the late game tonight, the Flames and the Sharks. And COVID has just claimed pretty much everybody on the Sharks roster, along with its head coach. You have Timo Meier, Kevin LeBlanc, Erik Karlsson, Jacob Middleton, Radim Simek, and Mark-Edward Vlasic all out. Shorthanded is not a sufficient term for the Sharks tonight. I couldn't even name who's playing on the Sharks' third and fourth lines tonight. I couldn't tell you who half these guys are if you paid me. Meanwhile, the Flames are riding a 10-game point streak with 7 wins and are among the league leaders in goals for, goals against, and special teams play. This team is absolutely the single most improved team over last year at all aspects of the game. I think Calgary easily steamrolls the Sharks tonight at home with how shorthanded the Sharks are. I'm taking them on the puck line at -1.5 goals. You can get it for +106 right now. So then last but not least, over to the NBA. Very short slate of NBA games today, only 3 of them, but the one that I'm looking at is the Bucks and the Sixers. And we're going to take a look at this total of 216. I have not lost a play so far this year fading a Bucks team total yet this season. This team is just exhausted with the lack of an offseason. They're still short Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, and Dante DiVincenzo. Drew Holiday coming back has definitely helped the matters on defense, but this Bucks team still has only cracked above the century mark once in their last 5 games. Meanwhile, the Sixers, even without Joel Embiid, even without Ben Simmons, even without Tobias Harris, even without Matisse Thybulle, have still been just a blast to watch. They had a 6-game win streak right up until last night's really tough loss to a Knicks team where they stayed step for step for them all game, right up until about there were like a minute and a half left. And the Knicks hit those 2 beautiful 3-pointers in a row to go up 3 possessions, and the Sixers just did not have enough time to come back to it. But now they're coming off a back-to-back. That was a heartbreaking loss last night. It has to be catching up to them. I have absolutely no faith that they're going to light up the scoreboards either. These 2 defenses combined give up an average of 210 points a game, and that's to squads that are at or near full strength. With all the star power missing tonight, that total is virtually guaranteed to be lower. Give me the under 216 tonight. That is my final play for the night. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on Twitter at Live One Sports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Have yourselves a great Tuesday night, and we will see you tomorrow.